Good and bad carbs. Now you know what? If I can remember to do this, I'm gonna link to the Juggernaut Fitness video that he did on this because it was crazy funny. I'm even gonna try and steal his thunder on that one. So I'm gonna try and remember this. If I don't, say in the comments and I will add it. It'll be here somewhere. Juggernaut Fitness did a video on what good and bad carbs were, so like watch that. But generally, just to help people out, no, there's no good and bad carbs. There's no carbs that are going to be. There's no such thing as a carb that is bad for energy. That's the entire purpose of a carbohydrate. A carbohydrate, as a macro or macronutrient source of energy for a human being, is entirely energy. It's just rocket fuel. It doesn't have any other use to you other than providing you with energy. So anytime you're eating any type of carbs, the body does not appreciate the different carbs as hot. It tosses acid on them and then other acids on them so that it can find the bits that it recognizes as sugar and break them into the bits that it likes, to break them into types of sugar that it likes to use for energy, and just uses them for energy. There's no process of, oh, is that a grain? Excellent, let's go to the special grain place where we don't know what to do with it and somehow we just excrete it out because we can't use it as energy because we're retarded. It doesn't make any sense. You think what's going on in here is a lot more complicated and strange than it is. At the same time, I'm thinking it's a lot more stupid than it is. It's like when it's convenient, when that kind of thing comes out and it's convenient for the body to be a retard, it's a retard. And then when the diet comes out and it's convenient for the body to be hyper intelligent, it's hyper intelligent. There's a constant duality. It's like the body's able to perceive pizza. It sees a pizza and it's like, okay, we'll take some of the pizza here, do this, and that's all. How many slices are on that? Okay, well, 4 slices of pizza, 4 bits of pepperoni on it. So definitely, I'll do this with it. That's ridiculous. The body can't perceive such things. There's no mechanism within you to decipher foods in that way. And the same way that if you just drink like sugar water in the morning or at night, the body's got like, what? The morning? Oh, what? Okay, I can't use this energy because it's the morning after all and I've not really started yet. What do you do with sugar? Sugar, what do we do with it? We just excrete it out, don't we? Yeah, we excrete it out. Ridiculous. You can't control your body in this way, don't try. Okay, what have we got next? I did a video on this and it was so long, but it's there, it's in the rant, so I'll do it. Everyone in the industry lying about their drug use. And under that, actually, I put you believing them. And then under that, I put and anyone caring that they use drugs in the first place. Alright, now, I'm going to try and link to the video because I explained it in that a lot better than I'm going to put it in this rant. But, to help you out, if you see somebody and they have a body that you want, like not like a body just better than yours, like the epitome, like if someone asked you whose body would you want and you say this person's body, that would be ideal. In my dreams I would have this body. They're on drugs. Sorry. Loads of them. Loads and loads of them. Loads of them. And I know people don't really understand the world of drugs, but don't worry because it's not really that big a deal. It's just humans along our evolution have found different ways to affect the ways our body works and to not die and to become better at things using things that aren't found naturally in food, such as houses and cars and aspirin and penicillin and things like that, just to make us not die so fast and to be better. It's been going on for a while. If you look out your window now, you may see like a road that was put there by humans to make travel easier. And yeah, no, that wasn't originally there. So yeah, so like a lot of things are unnatural in the world, and sorry if you didn't know, but they are. Now, I know a lot of people think it's like cheating and lying to you, but to anybody that's done a tiny bit of research or paid any attention to this fitness thing at all, it's so obvious that it's not really like they're lying. It's just kind of like wearing a green hat and saying it's blue. And like, if you believe them, it's not really like I'm lying, it's just you're an idiot. So, it's not the fact that you don't know, you're just ignorant to it. You know, if you're ignorant to it, it's cool, but like, they use drugs a lot to make them look better. And if you're thinking to yourself, but this person, and they don't, before you get into any science arguments or anything at all, just think of it like this. If they didn't, use drugs at all, these people with perfect bodies, what would happen if they did? Wouldn't there be someone with a more perfect body that's even better? Because they would have used the drugs. or do you not believe the drugs do anything? And if it's the case that you don't believe the drugs actually have an effect at all, then why would you care if anyone's using them or not? In which case, don't worry about it. There you go. Now you don't ever have to worry about drug use again. But seriously, don't believe those people. Don't care. It doesn't matter. You're not in the world to be somebody else. You're never gonna look like Beyonce for a multitude of reasons. One, a great portion of Beyonce's or any star's sex appeal is based on the character that they are / portray. You are attracted to the whole package of them. You don't just look at them and analyze them. You analyze the whole dancing, moving, shaking, song, top 50. This movie was great, action-packed, you know, superhero, whatever they are and whatever they portray in their movies, film, whatever, and whatever they do. Character they portray. You don't think of them just as a removed human entity. Also, the images that you see of them don't exist because they've been retouched by professionals. And if you don't know what retouching does, click Photoshop into YouTube right now and have a look at what they do to pictures, and you'll understand how far from reality. Like my uncle, this is what my uncle used to do. Like for living, his whole business was this, retouching people's, and he used to laugh at me all the time. He's like, listen, you should see, we did Madonna's thing. I'm sorry, Madonna, secrets out. We did Madonna's and Beyonce's pictures the other day. Oh my gosh, you should have seen her face. You should have seen her hair, the weave lines that she had. And he used to tell me all of the things that were wrong with these pictures before they got a hand on them. Also, before that, those pictures were taken by professional photographers. They don't use iPhones. Not like, that looks good, I'll put that on Instagram. It's professional cameras that cost thousands in professional studios with professional lighting that cost thousands. And before they come out, they've got professional makeup artists and professional designers that give them clothes that are perfectly aesthetic to you. It's a whole charade of lots of things compounded to make somebody look perfect, between lighting and, you know, all these things are compounded to give you an image that you try and achieve but can't, because you can never look like that because you don't have the original genetics, the drugs they use, probably the work ethic, probably the diet discipline, definitely the Photoshop skills, definitely the cameras available, the photo taking skills, the perfect makeup doing stuff, and the clothing. If you had all of those, we're going to call it 9 things, you're right there. You look just like Rob Riches. I'm not saying Rob Riches takes steroids or anything. I just don't know how to finish that sentence. Anyway, moving on. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna go into this one because it's a similar thing. How's my time doing? Who cares how my time's doing? It's my rant. People with goal physiques telling you their training methods like they'd ever work for you too. That's what it is. The idea is so, and you know, I feel for people with this one because it makes so much sense. It's just not correct. The idea that if somebody says, I am this shape and you like it, yes. You want to be like me, yes. I train this way, so if I train that way, I will look like you. That makes so much logical sense. I don't blame anyone for trying to follow the training methods of people with physiques that aren't yours. I don't blame you at all. It just isn't actually accurate. And the best way to try and understand it is in terms of sport. Like, take a sport, a highly skilled sport like tennis, and take a highly skilled sportsman within that sport, such as Andy Murray. Now, to try and get to play like Andy Murray today, you can walk out to Andy Murray and say, Andy Murray, what do you do on an average day? And he'll tell you what he does, and you can go and do it. What would immediately happen is you'd realize, oh, I actually don't have the skill to do any of these training protocols that you're doing. I don't have the adaptation necessary to even begin to do these trainings. So his drill, okay, stick with me, I played tennis, so tennis makes sense to me. I used to play tennis when I was young, right? So his drill might be, okay, I hit one cross court, that is hitting the tennis ball across the court, one cross court, one down the line, I run over to the other line, hit one down the line, one cross, go back and keep doing it, right? The average person, that plays a lot of tennis, can't hit a ball cross court or down the line no matter how hard they try, which means all they're doing is running up to the ball, hitting it somewhere, hitting it into the net, and they're not getting any lesson out of it. And what might have been better for them is if they took it back to basics and said, okay, well, since you've never played tennis before, this is how you hold the tennis racket, because you've been holding it wrong all along. But if you're just following Andy Murray's training protocols, you're running around backwards and forwards trying to do this drill that you're never going to be able to do with your current level of adaptation to the sport, so you're never going to get anywhere. And what happens is, now, the connection between this and other trainers, like other people in our industry of bodybuilding trying to look about, is people like, Jay Cutler, and I'm not going to say any names because I don't want to get the whole drugs thing, but they're using compounds that allow them to train more frequently and allow them to build muscle for longer periods of time, so they don't have to train a certain body part as frequently. So they can do things like splits and get massive because the testosterone in their bodies allows them to continue muscle protein synthesis long after they've stimulated the muscle. So an untrained, with drug-free athlete, you do a bicep curl, 48 hours later, your body has no interest in building any bicep muscle. If you're on drugs, it will keep doing it because that's what the hormones do. Now, if you are trying to compare your workout to somebody that's on drugs that allow them to do that, there's obviously going to be massive changes just from the fact that they've exhausted all of their gains that they're going to get from being a novice, so they're not going to be doing any novice protocols anymore. Also, because they're on the drugs, they're going to be allowed to get away with certain things that you're not going to be able to get away with. So what's going to happen to you is you're just going to never get to the physique that you want. But the idea of you training like them to be like them is so sensible that it kind of hurts me when I see them doing them. Like, yeah, this is my program, do this, because it's just wrong physiologically. And it's like, I feel for people because it makes sense, it's just not right. So that's not really a rant, it's kind of like, oh, I want to help you. Anyway, the last one is not on the paper. I don't need the paper. This one's a bit long today. Should I cut it in 3? Let's screw it, I'm gonna do 3. Let's keep going. What else we got here?